I'll be late.
Hello, Longboard and Go With. Welcome to the chat channel. Well, hello, Amira.
Hello.
How did your exams go this week?
I want to say I'm very happy with how they turned out, but one of my teachers decided to be rude, and I'm at the very edge of the grade I want. Like, if I had a 79 and I wanted an 80, that's how close I am.
Oh my goodness.
And she won't reopen anything for me to like redo something to get a better grade, so.
Oh.
But other than that, they went very well.
Well, that's good. That's good. Now, are these undergraduate or graduate or what?
I think undergraduate. My brain's not working right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Exams are over. I don't need my brain anymore.
Yes. And let your brain rest until January. I suppose that's when the next semester starts, or next quarter, or whatever system you guys are on.
Yeah, I think so.
We have a couple of people on Twitch in the chat channel who are somebody, even one of my other games, was telling me how to find this. A couple of people who are probably like playing a game but then have us on in the background, and because there's a weird thing with Twitch doesn't count a viewer in the viewer count that you can see unless they have Twitch as like the main screen. If they're looking at Twitch and they've got that up on their screen, or I suppose up on one of their screens, then they count as viewer. But if they have a tab with Twitch open and they're listening to it, but they're on a different application or playing a game or studying or working or doing whatever, they don't count as a viewer, which is kind of weird.
That's incredibly weird because I do that all the time.
Yeah. There's a place, and the only annoying thing for me about it, because I hate the idea of potential feedback, so I don't keep it open all the time, is if I open a tab that has Twitch on it, and then I go and I pull Twitch up, then I can look on that page and I can find all the people that are there in the chat, whether they're listed as active, active viewers or not. So I was like, okay. So I usually will do that at break and before the game. And then I close that tab so that there's no chance of any kind of weird sound feedback for people watching on the stream. Welcome, Travis. Welcome. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. So tonight, I am drinking a cup of Earl Grey tea, and in the second cup, I have a nice, surprisingly dry, which is a good thing, surprisingly dry Florida red wine, which means that a dry Florida red wine is kind of like a sweet California red wine, because the only kind of grapes that they can really grow here in Florida are, really super sweet kind of grapes. And sometimes when they try to make wine out of it, it's like syrup, and it's like, ooh, sort of hurts your teeth when you try to drink it. But this would be a sweet California red, is what this would be. But it's a dry Florida red instead. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to hope that since we had some communication from him during the week, I'm going to hope that we have Shaun with us again tonight. Seems like he was sorry about missing last week, and hoping that he could be here. Let's just go ahead and... I see he's typing something, so... All right. So I'm going to presume that he'll be along in a moment. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. My name is DM Gallibond, and this is the Lost Mine of Original D&D. On this show, what we do is we are playing through the Lost Mine of Phandelver with a twist. We are playing it with the original D&D rule set from back in the early to mid 1970s. This is a rule set where there are D6 for initiatives, where there's morale checks, where you only get 6 or 7 classes to choose from, and where death is much more permanent and much easier to come by than in later editions of the game. All right. Shaun, welcome. We are here with our players, and let us go to the map and recap what happened last week. Last week, the party went to town, and they did a few errands in the town. They settled up with the town master for the dealing with the orcs. The town master had a nice long conversation with, in air quotes, King Clarg, who is, offering the services of the party to help the town with their problems with the red brands. And then they went to the sleeping giant, and they had an encounter with those red brands. It was the encounter the red brands thought they wanted, but they realized after most of them were laying dead on the ground that it probably wasn't the encounter they wanted after all. Instead, the party came back to their camp outside of town with one of the red brands charmed by Empress Amy, with Theolis on guard in the middle of the camp. Dill, Spoink, and Relish, the three loyal goblin lackeys of Clarg, and Clarg, who is also charmed by Empress Amy, along with Ripper, his wolf. And then with 2 retainers, Barker, who is pretty badly hurt and in a tent, and then our other, what is our other fellow's name? Albon is the other retainer's name, and Sildar Hallwinter. And as we concluded last week, 6 red brands walked into the camp, found Theolis by himself. Words were exchanged, and at the end of that exchange of words, it was pretty clear that the red brands didn't come to talk, and Theolis wasn't ready to buy any Avon. And so there's about to be a smackdown. Oh, and Tomas, we're going to say that Tomas wound up finding Ripper and getting him back to the camp. And so we can put Tomas on the board wherever he wants to be. Let me go grab him from the journal and get Tomas out here so that he can go on the board. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I don't think that's been updated. Tomas, what's your latest armor class and hit points now that you've leveled up?
Okay, yeah, give me a second here. I will take a look.
I have to update the token on your character sheet, or else it's always going to go back to the level 1.
There it is. Character sheet. Okay, armor class. I'm thinking it is. Yeah, give me a second. I am.
Should be on the combat tab there.
combat? Okay.
kind of on the left and below the row of tabs.
Great. Say 5 total
5 total, and then what's your hit points?
at 13.
13. Okay.
Mhm.
The AC hadn't changed, but the hit points definitely had. So let me edit this thing. I'm going to remove that. It's a weird thing in, well, actually, it's not a weird thing in D&D. Well, it is a weird thing in that because, let me see. Yeah. Oh, I know why it is. Okay. Never mind. But I have it this way anyway because I found some things that screws up. If you link the properties on the token, if you link the properties on their little colored bubbles to stat blocks on the character sheet, then it will automatically update. But I found in other games that when you do that, it sometimes gives you information you don't want, because it will pick up things that are like temporary changes, and it doesn't reflect what you should have. Like, for example, if you get like potions that give you extra hit points, it won't reflect those. So I keep those separate so that we can manually update them. But then that means every time you gain a level, I have to update the token that's attached. So you can go ahead and get yourself situated wherever you would like to be. Okay, so you'd be out by the fire. That big yellow thing is the big bonfire or fire pit for the group. And then I'm going to get Amy here. And then we have our, we have our naughty red brands. Okay. I think we were just about ready to go into combat, unless there's anything that that you guys, that Tomas or Theolis, that you all wanted to say to the red brands before we start combat.
Oh, I think we ended with me telling him I was going to dress him as a maid and have him clean my tent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that is what we saw, and they drew their weapons because they didn't like that. All right. Well, Amy, Tomas, and Theolis, I'll let you guys decide who gets to do the honors for the first round of combat. I'm also going to pull the order of combat sheet up and put it up on the screen for the benefit of the viewers who may not be familiar with this edition of D&D and how combat works. The order of combat, the 6 things you see there, are what happens every single round. And yes, that means initiative gets rolled every single round. So I'm going to have Eider be the representative for the opponents. One of you guys can go ahead and roll initiative.
You can give her a shot there, Thomas.
Okay, you bet.
Yeah.
Hey, initiative. I guess I should have been looking for it.
I think that's on the combat tab again.
There it is.
Maybe. 6. All right.
Cool.
Well, we'll go ahead and we'll add a turn for Tomas. 6, and then the red brands, they will roll. Oh wow, they get a 6. So this happens everything here happens simultaneously. So the first thing that happens is morale checks. Well, nothing has happened, so the enemies don't need to do morale, and the party doesn't need to do morale. Then what happens is movement. So I will start as usual with the PCs. You guys move yourselves and then tell me where you want the NPCs to move. But the twist is that this time the enemies are going to be moving at the same time. So this first guy is going to move up here 10 feet. This guy will do 5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
So I'm staying right here.
Okay. This guy is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 feet over here. This guy, let's just double check and see what they are armed with. I think all they have. They are purely melee. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He can't really get any closer. Then these guys will kind of take up a position over here in case anybody tries to flee. They will sort of try to block off any escape that way. So that's the movement. Amy, do you want to move at all from where you are? Or do you want to send anybody in your tent out?
I am out of spell slots and being fed grapes. Why would I move?
Okay.
I'm
So
moving this guy out of the tent.
okay.
Theolis,
We got this.
You got this? All right. We might need
Yeah,
some
we
help.
got this.
He's going to stay in the tent. I want him as a trump card, so he's going to stay in, but he can leave.
Okay.
Yeah, we can have
Okay.
Spoink and Relish
5,
keep
10,
long range with the bows.
Yeah. Okay. So Mustard will come out and defend the front of the tent. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20. Do we want Dill in the tent or out of the tent?
He's the one giving me grapes. I need grapes.
Okay. So Dill will just slip over there so he can give you grapes.
We can let.
If I think they're dying outside, I'll send him out.
Okay. What about Sildar? What do we want to do with Sildar?
I think Sildar was administering a health pack to.
Yeah, he did what he could, but he's not. I mean, that's not something he has to continue doing as an ongoing thing. He can.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying. Well, that's up to Tomas.
Yeah, you've got Sildar, who's pretty healthy, and you have one of the mercenaries who is pretty healthy. One of the mercenaries is right at bloodied, so he may not come out just yet unless you guys want to move him out.
Okay, so I'll do like a shrill whistle between the two fingers in my mouth and go reinforcements, and then I'll yell Ripper.
There you go.
Okay. And Ripper will go. Ripper gets 50 feet of movement, so he's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He comes right up here, racing up beside Tomas. And this red brand's eyes just kind of get big. And this guy comes up. Because, of course, these guys can't do anything until it's time for them to do melee. That's movement. Okay, ranged weapons happen. Well, just so happens that you have 2 goblins with short bows. So we're gonna do the goblin with his They're short bows. They have short range. Well, Relish is gonna shoot at. Relish is gonna shoot at this guy Blam over here because he wants to avoid hitting Ripper. So he's gonna shoot at Blam. And I think that's still short range because he's got 50 feet. Yeah, easily short range. So he gets as we remember in this edition, you get a +1 for short range on your range weapons. He hits an armor class 15. That's not going to be good enough. The guy has an armor class a little bit better than that. And then Spoink doesn't want to hit Theolis, so he's going to shoot at Eider here. And he also has short range. Ooh, hits armor class 5 for 2 points of damage, so that does connect. Yeah, so -2. And Eider is like, ow! Damn goblin! And then I don't think there's any other ranged attack. None of the enemies have ranged attacks. Nobody else on your side has a ranged attack at this point. And then spells. Amy's out of spells. Theolis and Tomas don't have any spell slots. The enemies don't appear to have any spell slots, so it's time for melee. All right, so we're going to resolve the opposed attacks first. So Theolis, can you ping which of the guys you're going to attack? Okay, you're going to attack that guy. All right, well, he will poke his short sword at you at the same time you attack him, so you can go ahead and attack. Great Axe hits an armor class 10. That's not quite good enough. He hits an armor class 6, but that's not good enough to hit you. So, because Theolis has an armor class 3. And yes, folks watching on the stream, in this edition, armor class goes backwards. So the lower it is, the better. All right. That's that opposed. Tomas, you and Ripper, I presume, are both going to attack Toldog.
Yeah.
Or
I would like to do something maybe a little different here.
Oh, okay.
I would like to, in melee, instead of a weapon, I'd like to go up, grab him by the front of his robes. I believe that's a robe there.
Yeah, they have cloaks on.
Cloaks, all right.
Yeah.
Drop down into a prone position and use my weight as a fulcrum to get him off balance. And as he falls, I want to put my feet in his chest and flip him, hopefully, into the corner of the fire here and see if I can do some damage with.
Okay, so the halfling is going to try to flip this guy. All right, this is going to be very entertaining. Now, let me take a look at your character sheet and your skills here, and let's see what we have. You do have acrobatics. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to say that make an acrobatics check. And while you do that, Ripper is going to attack him. He is going to try to attack you. So he's going to attack you at the same time you try to attack him. And his short sword. Oh, crap. He hits an armor class -1. So he hits you for 2 points of damage.
2 points. Okay.
and then you land your attack on him. But now it's going to come up, and we will see if Ripper lands his attack. Okay, so we're going to do... Okay. Let's see if Ripper will land his attack. And if he does, then that's going to... he misses his attack. All right. So, you have leaped up and you grabbed this guy, and now that you're on him, you're kind of too close for him to attack you, and he's got this wolf on him. I would like you to make me a strength check to see if you can cause him to lose his balance this round or not. If you do cause him to lose his balance, I'll let you kind of guide his fall. Oh, wow. That's a critical success. Critical success.
Sweet.
So, yes. You move him 5 feet, and he lands in the corner of this. He lands in the corner of this fire here. And he is going to take 1d4 damage from that fire. So let's just see what happens. 3 points of damage.
Nice.
All right. And then I'm going to say, because you succeeded on that acrobatics check, you can sort of leap off of him as he's falling in there, so you don't take any additional damage from that. All right, so he has now taken some damage, and he is prone. And he is... Where is it? And he's on fire. So now he's got to spend his action, or spend some movement getting up and trying, and then he'd have to spend action putting out the flames, because his robes are on, or his cloak is on fire. So if he doesn't spend his action putting that out, he's going to take more fire damage. All right, so that was Ripper, that was Tomas, that was Relish, that was Spoink, that was Ra. So then Eider will get to go, and he is the only enemy that has left to go, because they all have melee and none of the rest of them are in melee. Ooh, he hits an AC -1 as well, and he deals 5 damage. Ooh. So Theolis got
All right, no problem.
clobbered. All right. We are at the end of round 1. So, initiative will reset. And so Tomas rolled that round. So who's going to roll this round for the party?
Okay, I guess I can. Let's see.
Okay.
Combat initiative.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, go ahead, Theolis. Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. So guess what? We have another tie. Theolis also got a 5. All right. So, second verse, same as the first. As we play out what happens here. Now, the enemies have drawn blood. They also have a couple of injured, but they haven't lost anybody yet. So, morale. They have a pretty good morale. Actually, because they're out here with a purpose, they have a morale of 12. So they don't even need to roll. They are going to keep fighting. It's only if they start losing people that will start affecting their morale, and they'll need to roll for it. Movement. Time to move again. How do you guys want to deploy your cells and your backups?
How badly hurt are like Barker and a name I can't pronounce?
Albon is not hurt at all, and Barker is at half health. He's bloodied. Sildar is down a few points, but he's not to bloodied yet. He's got more health than bloodied at this point. So Sildar and Albon are the two healthiest among those.
How far can I move?
They can all move 30 feet. So
How far
they
can I move?
Oh, I think you can move 40 feet because you don't have any armor on. So they can all get over here. Yeah, they could all get over here to do things. Yeah, you could run over there if you wanted to and see if you could lend some aid.
I want to move him 5 feet this way, and then run over there so I can heal Barker.
Okay.
Make
Move
this an
him,
unfair fight.
And then he's going to, since he's in melee range, he'll go ahead and attack Ra this round. Since he's there. All right. So yeah, Amy, you can move your token. Where do we want Sildar? Is he okay in the tent, or do we want him out on the battlefield somewhere?
That's up to
We'll
Thomas.
go ahead.
That's to anybody.
Yeah, can we move him here so that he can help with these two?
Sure, I think he has the movement to go. Yeah, he can get there. So he's gonna run over here. What about Albon? Do we want Albon to move anywhere?
Let's see here.
Okay, so he can. Yeah, he'll go right down there.
Yeah.
And then he will attack that guy. Then Clark and Dill will hold station. Spoink and Relish will hold station for you guys.
Does healing Barker count as a spell?
No. But it will. Well, yeah. We can say that it happens when spells happen.
Okay.
So it happens.
I'll wait till then.
Same point. Yeah, at the same point that spells happen. They don't really have a precise way of doing things like that during combat in this edition. So you kind of have to figure out what it would be. And it's kind of, I say it makes sense. Like with Tomas's acrobatics move, it made sense to do that during the attack phase. With the heal, it makes sense to do it during the spell phase. All right. Yeah. Now these guys. Nesham sees what's going on, so he's going to go. Well, that's about as close as he can get. He's going to go over here and try to back up Blam, and then Vorjid is going to go over here. He sees this no good turncoat Mustard, and he's going to go deal with him. So that was movement. Now ranged weapons. We still have the same ranged weapons. Relish is going to fire at. Relish is going to fire not at Tolag, because Tolag is laying on the ground and is harder to hit now because he's in front of Tomas. But he's going to fire at Nesham over here, and he still is at short range, so we will see It's armor class 7. Ooh, that's close, but it just misses. Grazes his cloak as he ducks. And Relish will... Well, Relish has a quandary because now he doesn't have a clear shot at anybody. So he's got to actually make an attack with a circumstance bonus of minus 4, I believe it is in this edition, against Eider. So he is going to attack Eider with a... Just going to put for the moment a minus 4 on there, and I think that will... Yeah, okay. That hits armor class 9. I think it would have hit if it weren't for the minus 4. But that hits the armor class 9. That's not good enough to hit. And so he misses. Spells. Amy, you can go ahead and make your heal check on... Oh, 8. Okay, so you can do the /R1d3. What? Okay. All right. Well, that's good. He's now
Better than nothing.
Yeah, he's now at 6, and he's no longer bloodied. So he's like, "Oh, thank you." And then he starts to scramble, and he'll be ready to go out into the fight next round. All right, now that brings us to melee. So I'm just gonna start from the top of the screen. So Vorjid will attack Mustard, and Mustard will attack Vorjid, which means it's 2 ruffians attacking each other. So armor class 8 from Vorjid, that'll miss. Armor class 13 from Mustard, that'll miss. Okay, Theolis, are you still attacking this guy?
Oh yeah, with the axe.
Okay, AC 13. That's not gonna hit. He's gonna try to... Oh wow, he hits you. Armor class 2, I think, but he only deals 1 damage. So 1. And then Sildar is going to attack Eider. And Sildar has his longsword. He attacks Eider, hits, and deals 3 damage. Which that's going to now bloody Eider. And then Eider will attempt to attack Sildar. Hits an AC 17. That's not gonna do it. Tomas, you have an enemy on the ground, and I forgot to move Ripper. So I guess Ripper is just gonna stand there and look at you this round. You've got an enemy on the ground. It doesn't really give you advantage like it does in 5th edition, but do you want to attack this guy while he's down on the ground, or do you want to wait and see if the fire does?
Yeah. Actually, if he's down on the ground, is he...
Wait a second. Okay.
He's good. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I forgot during movement, he's going to have to use his movement to get out of the flames. So now Ripper's not going to have to move to attack him, because he would have to... Well, he's still on fire. Because he's going to have to use his action to put out. He's going to have to use his action to put out the fire. He's not going to be able to attack. So he's standing up. Do you want to attack him this time, or do you want to try to do something else?
Yeah, I'll try to attack him, and maybe Ripper have him take a 2.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ripper's probably going to attack him as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll
Let's
say
see.
that Ripper does a bite attack. His bite is
Sick him boy.
he's afraid of that wolf. Ooh, armor class -3. That hits for 3 points of damage. Okay, now the guy is bloodied. And he's on fire. So instead of attacking you, he dances around and beats the flames out, so that he doesn't take more damage from the flames. And then he's looking very, very bad. And last but not least, we'll have Alban attack Blam, and let's see. So that is okay. So that's okay. There we go. So Alban is going to attack with a battle axe. And he hits. Oh, come on. It's armor class 5. That's going to connect for 3 points of damage. So, and then Blam will attack. And Blam hits an armor class -1, which will attack for 6 points of damage. Wow. So he hit Alban in a vital area. And now Alban is bloodied. Okay. So these red brands, they apparently have it out for the retainers. Something that these retainers do really tick them off. All right. So I think that takes care of everybody who can attack. So now I'll go ahead and clear the initiative roll. Amy, I guess you have the honors for doing initiative this time for the party. And
I'm sorry for ruining the streak of getting matched with the red brands tonight.
oh, okay. And yes, the red brands do get to go first. So they have been rolling in countdown order. 6 the first round, 5 the second round, 4 this round. All right. So they get to do everything they're going to do first. Blam will move over here. Nisham will move up here. Actually, Nisham will go ahead and move up here because he thinks maybe that the halfling and the wolf are more of a danger. These 3 over here, they're not going to move. Ranged weapons, they have no ranged spells. They have no spells, so melee. So we just go in order. So Vorjid will attack Mustard. And hits an AC 17. That's a miss. Ra will attack Thorvid. Also hits an AC 17. That'll miss. And then Eider will attack Sildar. AC 11. That will miss. Okay, so Tolag is going to attack Ripper. AC 6. Oh, that's going to hit. So Ripper gets hit for 1 point of damage, and Ripper doesn't much like that. Nesham is going to attack Tomas. It's an AC -1. He deals 1 point of damage to Tomas. So Tomas, they're just hitting you with paper cuts. They're accurate paper cuts, but they're just paper cuts. And then Blam is going to attack Albon. It's an AC 14, which will miss. All right. So that's them. All right. Now, party. Who's moving? Where are you moving? I'm just going to deal with the people that aren't in melee right now. We want Relish and Spunk to stay where they are and keep plunking people with arrows.
Yes, please.
Okay. Do we want Dill or Clark to come out of the tent yet?
That is up to Amy.
Okay.
I don't think we're losing quite yet, so I don't think we need Clark out here. He's like a trump card I want to keep secret.
Okay.
Right.
Barker, do we want Barker out on the battlefield? And if so, where?
Have him come out as backup for Albon. Albon is taking some pretty serious damage.
I'm about to come out and heal Albon. To try at least.
Well, Barker is going to come out and go over here because Tolag looks like he's about to fall over, and if Barker can help with that, then yeah, Amy, you can get over there to Albon with no problem. And Theolis, do you want to move?
Yeah, I want to move around trying to get a better position on him and open up range for Relish and Sploink to hit.
Okay. In most editions of D&D, and there's not really a rule, so I'm just going to go back on the default with this. In most editions of D&D, you can move through a friendly character space, but you cannot move through an enemy space without some sort of check. So, yeah, that would you wouldn't be able to move to that side. You with that fire there, it's kind of difficult to get around. With the fire in the tent, it's difficult to get around.
It's a wall. It's fine. I can deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just going to give Spoink a minus on his ranged attacks. All right. So we'll go ahead and Relish will take his attack against Nesham this time.
I'm sorry. I had my mic muted. I'm sorry. I thought you heard me. I was hoping who controls Relish and Splink?
I guess I do. But where would you like them to go?
If we could, that might open up a lane here. If he could move here, Relish anyway.
Relish, okay.
And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Actually, Relish can move there, and then he would. Okay, he's got a bead on Tolag. Okay, and Tomas, you can move back.
I'd like to move there. And then if we can get Splunk there we go.
Okay.
Now we're
all right. Okay, so all right, so they have new targets. Relish has taken up Tolag as a target, and Spoink is going to attack Nesham as a target. All right. So Relish will go after Tolag. And there we go. Armor class 5. Oh, that's going to hit for 4 points of damage. Hey, you guys, your goblin just killed an enemy.
Go Relish.
Cool.
And,
Great.
Relish says, I got one. actually, he says more like, I got one.
Talk about relishing the moment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then Spoink is going to attack Nesham. It's an armor class 12, so that's going to miss. All right, so that's all for the ranged attacks. Spells. Okay, Amy, you can go ahead and try your heal check on Albon. Amy, are you there?
Oh, I can hear now.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can try your heal check on Albon because we're to the. J-Dob, believe it or not, the table for armor class in this edition goes all the way from +20 to -20. Theoretically, the most that you see is usually you see like 10 as the worst AC. Okay, that's good. So you can roll 1d3 for your heal check. 2. All right. Well, he is now at 6, and he is no longer bloodied. And he looks over at you, and he says, "Oh, thank you." And then he looks at Blam, and he says, "You're not gonna like me now." And then it's time for melee. So, Mustard will attack Vorshid. He hits an armor class.
Did we do ranged weapons already?
Yes, we did.
Okay, yeah, because I missed out on my turn. I'm sorry.
You were planning to do a ranged weapon. I didn't realize you were planning to do a ranged weapon. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, go ahead and make your shot because I wasn't clear on that.
Right. Well, yeah, because I moved out of range. You
moved, but I didn't hear you say you were going to shoot when you got there.
Okay. Right.
Armor class 7. Oh, that's just gonna miss. Okay. So
bummer.
That won't quite hit. All right. So, yeah. Mustard tried to hit Vorjit, and he missed. Okay, so Theolis, you can make your attack.
Okay.
Armor class 1 for 7 points of damage. Ooh. Well, that's gonna bloody this guy in a single hit.
Cutting off a leg if I can. Ripper needs a snack. I know, but that's the goal.
Yeah. Okay. You clobber this guy in the leg, and you hear his femur crack with that attack. And he's like, ah! Bit deep into the flesh of his leg. All right, and Sildar is going to attack Eider. And where did Sildar go? Here, Sildar. So he's going to attack armor class -.
Oh,
for 8 points of damage. Sildar cuts this guy down and decapitates him, and his head falls on the ground next to the guy you're fighting. And then Eider falls over, or Eider's body falls over. All right, now, well, Barker now doesn't have anybody to attack with melee because the guy in front of him is dead. And Alban can attack Blam. And see, now that's one of the things that's interesting about this edition, because it forces you to move before the melee phase comes up. If you move into position thinking you're going to attack and then your target dies, okay, now you're just standing there with your weapon in your hand going, okay, whatever. And Alban is going to make his attack against Blam and misses. It's only an armor class 13. Okay, then 3, 2, 1. That is the end of the round. But this next round now, something is a little bit different. The party, of course.
Excuse me again. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ripper didn't get his here.
Ripper didn't attack. Okay, let's see if Ripper.
Sorry, keep interrupting, but
okay. Hits an armor class 14, so he misses.
Misses. Okay. All right. Thank you. Interrupt again.
So Tomas, I think we're back to you. You can roll initiative, but after we roll initiative, we are now going to have to roll some morale for these guys. They only get a 2. And so Tomas, what's your initiative for the party going to be? 5. Okay, so this time the party will go first. I am going to put Tomas above Eider. But before anything happens, oh, no. You guys won initiative, so you all get to do all your turns before they even get to check morale. So, I will not impede the natural order of things here. Okay, do we want to move our goblins anywhere? Or, I'm sorry, do we want to move our goblins anywhere? Or do we like them where they are?
I kind of like them. If that's okay with you guys. Keep Spunk there. Relish. Do you need help over there, Theolis?
I got this. I'm finally having some fun with these boys.
All right. Okay. Yeah,
I'm so far from my grape tent. I feel so lonely. I miss them.
Right. Well, maybe we can have Relish move down here and then help him.
Okay. So Relish will move down here. We'll drop his bow and we'll get out his short sword. He's now thinking that he's a big hero. So he's going to prove to Empress Amy how powerful he can be with his short sword. So he moves there. All right. I take it nobody else is, Amy, did you want to move since you had done your healing?
The grape tent's too far. I can only make it to like the outskirts.
Okay. Well, I will tell you that where you're standing now, you are in range of Blam for melee. So if you don't want to be in range of him, you can move somewhere
inside this tent.
Okay.
I can watch Relic come in there. You're doing great.
All right. Okay, all right. Ranged weapons. All right. Well, Spoink is the only one with a ranged weapon now, so he is going to attack Nesham. And armor class 1.
I also have
for 2 hit points. And Tomas, you go ahead and make your ranged attack.
Nice.
Ooh, -1 for another 2 points. And with that, Nesham is bloodied. So there's 2 dead enemies and 2 bloodied enemies now. That's really going to factor into their morale at this point. Then Yeah, that is going to do it for the ranged attacks. The spells, there's no spells this round, and then the melee. So we'll go from the top, and Mustard will attack his former ally, and he will hit AC 14, which is a miss. Theolis, this guy in front of you is very hurt. Can you finish him off? Oh, no, you can't finish him off. Only armor class 10. Sildar he's going to try to help you finish off that guy. And he hits an armor class 13, so he's not going to be able to do that. Ripper. Oh, Barker, I think, would have moved down there. You guys would have moved Barker down there. Ripper is going to attack Nesham. What will Ripper do? Oh, armor class 8. That's close, but not quite good enough. And then, let's see. Barker will attack Blam. Ooh, for 7.
Nice.
Okay, and unfortunately for Relish's sake, that's enough to kill him. So he chops off his short sword arm, and Blam falls and dies. But Albon is close enough to attack Nesham, so Albon will go ahead and attack Nesham. That's miss. Okay. And then, well, there's only 3 enemies left, and 2 of them are bloodied. So their morale is very shaken. Instead of having a 12 for a morale, they now have a 6 for a morale. So they need to roll lower than a 6 on 2d6. 6 or lower on a 2d6 in order to keep fighting. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're dedicated to this. They got a 4.
Awesome.
They're going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which means that movement. Nesham is going to come down here. Yeah, because he doesn't want to be near that wolf anymore. And he's going to try to attack Albon. Everybody else is kind of in position where they need to be. No ranged weapons, no spells, so we're just going to go from the top. Vorgid will attack Mustard. He really doesn't like this guy being a turncoat, but he misses. Ra will attack Theolis. Ooh, armor class 2. Hits for 4 points of damage. -4.
It's a flesh wound. Oh.
Okay, but Theolis is now bloodied. And Nesham, he's going to attack Albon. Ooh. Hits exactly what he needs, armor class 5, and he does 2. So now Albon is once again bloodied. And Amy is saying, I just healed that guy. Why?
My mic wasn't even on. You said it for me.
Yeah. Why are these enemies attacking? And yeah, there's only 3 of them left, so that's all they can do. So now it's the party's turn. And oh no, that was the end of the round. So now, I guess, did Theolis roll initiative next? So
Mhm.
Theolis can go. We're going to
Nice.
die roller. Okay, well, you guys get to do everything before they can even do another morale check. We're going to add a turn. We're going to put a 6 there. We're going to move you up to the top of the initiative list. All right. So, movement. Okay, we see Amy has come out of the tent. Anybody else want to move? Or do we want to move the NPCs anywhere?
Yeah, we'll move Relish here. Finish this guy. Help finish this guy off.
Okay, so Relish will move over there.
And Spike's got a shot with his bow here, so we're good there.
Yeah.
I think I guess still got a shot
Okay.
there. Okay.
All right.
And
And yes, Amy, this is another thing for those on the chat that's interesting about this edition. Amy has been using this healing skill, but she's only allowed to heal injuries on the same creature that she hasn't tried to heal before. So she can try to heal these 2 points of damage that this guy just took. But she can't try to heal old damage on him. It's really weird the way this works. She has to wait until the next game day before she can try to heal those wounds that he had before again. Because natural healing is only going to recover 1 hit point per game day. Is what I said. This game is this version of the rules very much stacked against the players in terms of survivability.
I don't think they don't like us.
Well, yeah. I guess what they really envision is that you guys would go out and have one battle in a day, and then you go back to town and lick your wounds for 2 weeks, and then go back out and do something again. It's like, really, is that how adventurers are going to live? But that's
right.
that's kind of what the way they were setting it up. All right. So
run Sildar adjacent to the guy I'm walked up with.
So right here.
Yeah, there or because this guy's dead. He died the last round, so Sildar should be able to move through without resistance.
He can step over the body, so he can get there, and in that way, if this guy dies, he's also in position to take on this guy too.
Sildar wounded.
Sildar was wounded from way back.
I was not.
He's still recovering. He's still recovering wounds from when you found him in Clark's cave or in the.
Oh, okay. So I can't heal him.
Yeah. Well, you can try today to heal him because you haven't tried to heal him yet today, but he's way over there on the other side of the battlefield at the moment. So, I don't think you can get to him with your movement. But
not this turn, no.
Okay, I'm going to let you try the new wounds on Albon this time when it comes up. All right, ranged weapons, Tomas and Spoink. Oh, no, wait, we didn't move Ripper yet.
Yeah, we'll just leave Ripper right there.
Okay.
So, yeah. Because he'll just be in the way and he could take a chance of getting hit with our arrows. So.
Okay. All right. So then, Tomas, you can go ahead and shoot.
Right. Nice. No damage, but still hit.
For 1 point of damage. Well, that was a very accurate shot, but you didn't get a whole lot of power on it, so it just kind of grazed him. Got right in the inside of his elbow. On his sword arm. It hurts like Dickens, but it didn't do a lot of damage. And then Spoink will go after the same guy. Armor class 10. He will miss. And that takes us to ranged, or that gets us done with ranged spells. Amy, you can try your healing magic if you, or it's actually not magic, it's a healing check. Oh, okay. Well, you're not able to heal him. You don't hurt him, but you're not able to heal him because it's.
I've been doing this way too much today.
Yeah. Amy is meant to be the Empress. She's not meant to be everybody's nursemaid. So please, everybody, quit getting injured so that we can let Amy do her job.
If you kill enemies quickly, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Right.
I was to be fed grapes today. This was on the schedule, people.
I'm gonna start reading
and then melee. So, Relish will attack his former compatriot. Oh gosh, Relish. He just has this thing about hitting red brands. Theolis, go ahead and make your attack.
All right.
Oh, that's not going to miss. So Sildar will hit this guy, or will try to hit this guy. See if he can. Oh, yeah, that does it. All right, so Sildar takes this guy out. And now there's yet one more enemy down, which means that the morale check is going to be even worse. Then Albon is going to attack this guy. So Albon will miss, and then Relish is going to attack this guy with his short sword, and he also misses. All right. So, end of your side of the turn, and the enemies are up. Well, now they have yet more people down. So now their morale has dropped to a 4. So they need to roll a 4 or less, or else they're going to scamper away. And let's see what happens. Oh, no. Okay. That's it. They're breaking. They're running. Now, let me double check what is their speed. They get a speed of 40. Does anybody other than Ripper have a speed higher than 40?
Higher than 40 or 40 encounter? I have a 40 encounter.
Running, I have 90.
Okay, yeah, it's gotta be encounter speed of higher than 40.
Okay.
Yeah, Tomas, you can match them, but you can't outpace them. And the reason that's important is that if you can outpace them, then you can chase them and keep attacking them. If you can only match them, then you cannot. So let me do this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to say he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So he is still within bowshot range. This guy is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And he is still within bowshot range. But he's also, by virtue of being closer, he's also within Ripper chase range. So mechanically, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is Ripper is going to chase after Nesham here unless somebody stops him. And because Ripper can outpace him, he's eventually going to take him down. So we're not even going to worry about that. If you let Ripper go, he will take that guy, and one guy will perhaps get away if those with ranged weapons can't take him down before he runs off the map. So that is it for their side of the combat. For the party, would and because that guy is there, I'm going to minimize this for the benefit of chat. So for those of you that have a ranged weapon, do you want to move so you can get a better angle on this Vorshid guy?
The question is, do we want no witnesses, or do we want to have like one witness to go back to their leader and be like, hey, these dudes are scary?
That might not be a bad idea.
I don't know if he'll think they're scary, but he didn't see Clark, so our ace in the hole hasn't been given away.
Yeah, but if like we're already scary and then we have a bugbear, then
right. Well, I still say we let Ripper eat the one.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely dead. We don't care about him.
Okay.
I can move here. I think, yeah. Ready?
Yeah, this guy is going to be wolf food. So this guy is the only guy you have to worry about in terms of moving. That's the only guy you have to worry about chasing. So you can get to wherever you think. So Spoink is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He will go there so that he can get a shot on this guy. And then Tomas, it's close range, but if you choose to go that way, then you've got that tent in between you and him. If you go back to where you were, and instead of going this way, if you come across over here somewhere near where Spoink is, you might be able to get a beat on this guy.
I'm going to hang up by Ripper here.
Okay. All right.
Spoink.
All right.
Yeah.
So I will let you shoot, but I'm going to give you like a -4 on your roll for trying to go around the edge of that tent. Tent is a soft corner, so I think you can see around it, but it still is providing partial cover. All right. Anybody else have a ranged weapon that wants to try to go? I don't think any of the rest of you do, unless Theolis has one that he wants to try.
I do. I'm just not concerned about him.
Okay.
Are we going to let him go?
Well, Spoink has his bow out and it looks like he's ready to shoot unless somebody...
We'll let Spoink take a shot. Does Sildar have a ranged weapon or just his longsword?
Just his longsword.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let Spoink try to get some merit.
Okay. All right. So Spoink will shoot. It's an armor class 1 for 4 points of damage. Well, doesn't take him down, but sends that guy home bloodied from the battle.
Good job, Spoink.
Thanks. Will not be sharing my crown.
Yeah, and Relish just kind of all right. And that is going to be the combat. All right, so this guy runs off the map and is gone.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't hit him, or
-4.
Tomas, -4. Okay. Yeah, you hit him. And he has 1 hit point left, so he's very bloodied as he limps away.
Oh man!
All right.
All right.
So the one guy did get away, but
he's on death's door.
Yeah, he's the only guy coming back, and he's on death's door. So they will know that was a pretty serious fight, based on the fact that only one of them survived. And he reports that the rest of them were cut down. So you guys don't have any prisoners to interrogate. That was a successful combat. You all won the day. You have some bodies to loot. And oh yeah, something that I think I forgot to do last time. Let me just go and double check something here. Where did I? Because I'll have to do it at the break if I forgot, and I'll give us a little bit longer break. Yeah, I think I did. I don't think I gave you guys experience from last time, did I?
Well, I thought you intentionally did that because we didn't finish the day yet.
Yeah, I like to keep track of it, and I didn't track it. So when I give you experience I'll give you experience at the break or at the end of the break, and that will be for last week's session and this week's, because I always try to give you points for the RP you guys did and the story points that you guys got to and everything like that. And that's always easiest to do immediately after the session. But I was thinking about something for my Sunday game last time, and didn't do all the tallying up for this one at the end of the session. All right. So you have 5 dead bodies. You have 5 sets of breastplate. So let me go to the journal.
I've read 3 cloaks.
Yes. Okay. So
I can make some nice outfits.
Yeah, so I'm going to edit the sheet here. And we're going to... All right. Session 8. Let in treasure and XP from 12.5. That's here. That's here. Okay, then session 9 still brands. Okay, so 6 red brands. 6 red brands defeated. So 5 red brand cloaks. 5 sets breastplate. 5 short swords. Treasure from 5 red brands. Okay, so the red brand treasure go down to the rules section to treasure. These guys have individual, carried. Okay. So we're going to give them, we're going to give them that. So they have, so it's going to be 10 years. All right, so the total loot that they have in their coin purses is 29 gold pieces. So they get 29 gold pieces there. Then yeah, I guess that's kind of all that you guys get is that, and then I need to figure out what the correct XP value for the red brands is. This particular edition for the viewers, this particular edition is very stingy on XP for enemies. What they did is they gave each character 1 experience point for every gold that you get. And so they figured that the gold you would get paid in treasure, or the gold that you would find in loot, or things like that, would be part of your XP. And actually defeating the monsters was very low in terms of the treasure. So that wound up encouraging a lot of groups to become murder hobos, like where they would go into a town and they would just they would do all the quests that the town had for them, and then they'd go around and they'd start killing people and looting their houses because they could carry away all the treasure, and that gave them more XP. So that was a little bit of a flaw in the rules that could be exploited by the party, or it would turn your game, instead of into a bunch of heroes, okay, now you're a bunch of marauding mercenaries, and you're just going and trying to find the jobs that'll pay the most, and you don't care what happens to the people that can't pay you. So let's see, this is
Unless if all the people hate you, who's going to build your gold statue?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is kind of the okay, they are worth, your enemies that you fought are worth 10 XP each. By comparison, a similar type of monster in 5th edition would be worth like 25 XP each. So XP each. Total. Okay. Then goblins and Sildar and hireling got kills. All right, that note is important to me because then that means that they are going to soak up some of the actual combat XP. They will not soak up any of the other XP from the session, but they'll soak up some of the combat XP. All right, now So what do you want to do with the bodies? What do you want to do with the cloaks, with the breastplate, with the swords that you got?
It was on this one's cloak.
Okay, you. I'm sorry. I think part of your thing got cut off. You said you want to put it. You want to put on his cloak.
Yes, I want it.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. You guys can claim those cloaks, and I think you all can edit that party treasure handout. So if you want to make any notes that somebody has taken one of the cloaks, you can do that.
Oh, and I hand Tomas his 100 gold like voucher. I don't think he got it last session.
Okay. Yes, Tomas. The town master gave you all vouchers for 100 gold pieces for your each one of you 100 gold pieces for the fighting against the orcs, dealing with the orcs, and you can take it to either Stonehill Inn or the Miners Exchange, and they will cash that out for you. Give you the actual gold for it.
Great. And that's at where again? I'm sorry. At the.
Just put it in your inventory that you have a voucher for 100 gold pieces from the town master.
Okay.
And
for the town master. Okay.
Yeah, and that's for dealing with the orcs. If you want to know when he gave it to you. All right. So you looted the gold. I presume we're taking the armor, taking the weapons, taking the cloaks. Amy has one of the cloaks. I don't know if we want to claim those or if the rest of you don't care about them. But then what are we going to do with the bodies? I'm going to let Clark.
The bodies, I'm going to cut one of the legs off and toss it for Ripper. We'll keep the heads to go on pikes, and then I'll load the bodies on the wagon and take them out of camp so that we can dispose of them elsewhere.
Okay. All right. So now Clark comes out after he hears the sound of battle, and Dill is coming out to see what's gone on. And Clark says, "Oh, yes, Theolis, very good. You all did very well. Look at these red brats. I know now why they wear red cloaks, so they can't see how badly they bleed." And the goblins are like, "Hey, yeah, they bleed real good." And Relish says, I killed one. And Clark says, yes, very good. And Ripper is like happily gnawing on the leg you threw him, and he's also kind of gnawing on this body of Nesham over here until somebody takes it away. But then he grabs the leg and he runs off somewhere, and he just lays down under a tree, and he's kind of going to town on that leg, like a dog with a good steak bone or something. And so then we'll say that you guys collect the bodies, and you don't really find anything on them particularly. I don't think you find anything on them particularly interesting. Let me just double check and see. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Nope. They just pretty much have their gold on them and their cloaks, which appear to all be of a similar make, and that kind of seems to be the only thing that they have. Sort of dirty and now bloody scarlet cloaks.
Can I round up all the cloaks?
Sure, unless Tomas or Theolis want to keep one for themselves.
Oh no, I intend to distribute them. I just want to keep them all to use them later.
Yeah,
sure,
you might need them later.
Has any objections.
No, that's fine.
I've got no problem with it.
You need to clean them up a little bit if we're going to use them for disguises, though.
Exactly.
Okay.
You said they all look alike.
I need to try to use my heal check. I'm down to 6 hit points. And I need to use a med kit.
Jay on the things that are in the chat says, imagine if they also wore brown pants. Well, come to think of it, maybe they do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm down 3 too. Maybe a good idea to do. See, I think I got heal as a one abilities.
Okay, well, you didn't do any additional damage to yourself. Oh, Tomas, exactly what you needed. So go ahead and roll a 1d3, and you can add 1d3 hit points to yourself.
Okay. Great. Let's see here. I'll just what was it? Black backsplash or 1d3.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to heal Sodar because Sodar was injured.
Yeah.
From a while back.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm just slapping some mud on it. That'll stop the bleeding. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we'll set up kind of a healing line here, and oh yeah, that'll work, Amy. And, okay, he gets 1.
Let's see what
he's grateful for that.
What was the command again for the
healing checks are so good.
/R space 1d3.
/. Okay. Give me a second here.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's a backslash. That is a backslash.
Looks like this.
Yeah.
Without the dot in front of it.
Okay.
And you don't have to type out the entire word roll. You can do /R and then space and then 1d3. And like Amy said, don't put the dot there because that.
Okay, I might have to go. I don't have all my lights on. I can't see my keyboard.
Okay.
A second.
My keyboard lights up. I love it so much.
Of course, she has all the bells and whistles.
My laptop has a keyboard that lights up as well.
There we go.
It's awesome. It's fancy.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'm gonna have you do my health check rolls now.
Right.
All right. So, Tomas with 3, that gets you all the way back to full.
15.
Sildar and Albon and and Barker all have healing. So they can make checks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them make checks for each other. So Sildar is going to try.
Oh, for the record, mine was for Theolis. So, wait, no, mine was for ShaunR. I'm gonna try Theolis now.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah. And then Sildar is going to attempt to heal Albon. Fails. He attempts to heal Barker. Oh, he will have some success there. And okay, he'll get 7, or he'll get 1. So he's back to 7. Okay, then Barker has a skill, so healing and that's intelligence of 1, and then he will do. Okay, that will work. He's gonna try to heal Sildar. So /R 1d3. Whoops. /R 1d3. And that's 2 for Sildar. And then he will try to heal Albon. That'll work. And no. /R 1d3. 2 points for Albon. So Albon is now no longer bloodied. All right. And they will offer help to anybody that needs it. Does anybody need any healing from Sildar, Barker, or Albon?
I would greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Well, Albon will come over and he will try to help you. Oh no.
Ouch!
Just undo what I did.
Yes. Viewers, in this edition, if you get a critical fail on a skill check, which is a natural 20, then with the healing skill, you actually deal damage instead of healing damage. So now you're at 1. Okay. Amy, how much did you heal?
I just did 1.
1. So
Okay.
I got it and
Okay.
lost it.
ShaunR just straight punched you in the face.
Oh, okay, because you were at 6 before she tried to heal you, right? Or were you at 5?
I was at 6 before she tried to heal me, got me to
Okay.
7, and I went back to 6.
Okay, all right. So I'll leave you at 6 then.
Thank you.
Or I should say I'll leave your token at 6. Then so Albon is like, oh gosh, I got clumsy fingers. Barker and Sildar, they will offer to help, but they don't know if anybody will want them to help.
I'm welcome to give them each a shot.
Okay, Barker will try. He fails. He doesn't do any damage, but he fails. Sildar steps up, and he's going to try. Oh, hey, that'll work.
Awesome.
R 1d3. Whoops, 1d3. Oh, for 2 points of damage. Okay, so
Oh,
Now you're up to 8. You're still bloody, but you're right at. Oops. That's not right. 6 plus 2. What? Just 8. Come on. Okay. There we go. And Amy, you good? You
And
don't want
taking
these.
damage.
Okay. You don't need these guys.
Don't need
They're
anyone trying to harm me
in
while
the
trying to heal
stone.
me. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So are we ready to get rid of the rest of these Red Brand ruffians off of the map?
if Ripper's full, then yeah, we don't need them for anything else.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Well, we're a little bit behind schedule, but we can go ahead and take our break now. I have 12 after. Like I said, I want to calculate up the XP from last time. So let's go ahead and plan to be back at 25 after the hour. I'm going to be back at the computer before then. So, chat, if you guys have any questions about things that are going on in this edition or whatnot, put them in the chat and then I'll try to answer those while I am calculating up the XP that I should have given them the last time and the XP from the first part of this session this time. All right, and I will put the music on and I will mute myself while I step away. All right. I am back. I am still working on this treasure from last time, and the XP from last time. Okay. Yes, actually, it will work out to do it this way. We're doing a running total for this week, so I'll give you the total for this week at the end of the session. But from last time, Amy and Theolis, you should each give yourselves 315 experience points, and then I seem to recall, and I may be recalling it inexactly, but I seem to recall that you guys gave, when you found whatever the red brands were carrying, you gave it to Grista, the tavern keeper, to clean up the mess. She wasn't happy with it, but you kind of gave it to her just to insult her anyway.
Yep.
Okay. And the majority of what you got last session came from your conversations with the town master and with Grista as well. Okay. I don't see any additional questions from the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the music. And
We really should fill Sean in when they get back, because I think they have no idea why we're fighting this week.
Okay. So, Sean, when you get back, let us know. All right, he's not back yet, I guess.
I'm back. Yep, sorry.
Oh, you are back. Okay.
I was mute. I was talking to my computer again with the mute on, of course. So.
Okay, Amy, go ahead and let him know why you guys were being attacked from last week. Or
I intentionally decided to antagonize somebody to see if they were on our team or not.
Oh.
Good news, we now know. Bad news, they're not on our team.
And who is this?
The tavern owner of the Sleeping Giant. I think that's what it's called.
Grista.
Grista.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I tried to be a gentleman about it. The guy was being a pain in the butt, so I tried to make it a fist fight, and they drew steel, so it got bloody from there.
Yeah,
okay.
and then
It got mustard.
Grista was not happy that they left corpses on her porch, so they looted the bodies and gave something like 23 silver to Grista
And
and
the
said,
23
"Here."
copper, I think.
Okay.
To clean up the mess.
Clean up the mess, and she like spat at their feet, but they just threw it at her anyway.
Right.
Like,
Oh my! Yeah, that's like you just insulted her on top of leaving the bodies on the stoop there. So, yeah.
And then Amira goes inside and sits down, and she's like, "Why, you little bitch?" She goes, "That's witch."
With a W.
Yeah, so Grista, we know, is not going to be on the party's Christmas card list.
No.
And the party is not going to be on
We're definitely going to send her one because we're nice people, obviously.
Yes. But yes, there's another building that by the end of this adventure may not be claimed in Phandalin or in Sealsy anymore, and it may need new ownership. Who knows? All right, so we're going to say that the rest of the day passes uneventfully, and you guys can all get the benefits of a long rest, which means that everybody who has an injury will overnight they will heal yet one more hit point.
Awesome.
So,
right.
And what are the? Whoops, that was not right. Okay. What are we gonna have any watches? Are we gonna let the goblins take watches, or what's going to happen there?
I can take first watch.
Okay.
So I'd like to kind of finish bonding with Ripper if I could. I have some ideas.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You guys can do that around the fire or over at a tent or whatever. Sure. And Dill will kind of, I guess the goblins are assigned to a tent, and then the retainers will have a tent. The retainers will have a tent, and Clark will have one corner of this tent, and Amy will have the main part of the tent, and Mustard will go wherever Amy tells him to go. And Sildar will have a tent, and then he's not particular about sharing with anybody. People need to bunk with him, and then that leaves another tent if the fellas want to share a tent, or somebody bunks with Sildar or with the retainers or whatever. So, all right, Tomas. So go ahead. You are there with Ripper on the first watch.
Okay. I'd like to take like a little small piece of leather and wrap it around, I don't know, some sort of small object and tie it together, make like a little, like a ball sort of thing. And then I'd like to, here, Ripper. And I'll show him the ball if that's okay for me to make, whatever.
Yeah, I will just say it's kind of you can work on it for half hour or so, however long it takes. It's not going to be something that's particularly fancy or anything, but for an animal chew / play toy, it will be sufficient.
Cool. And I'll pet him, and if he's still not chewing on anything, and what's his reaction?
Okay, now go ahead and make me a wisdom roll. I mean, he's fairly well disposed to you guys, because you all are allies, but this is just more of trying to get him more used to you in particular, being kind of his main handler. So go ahead and make me a wisdom check. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty good. He kind of likes that, and you toss the ball and he'll kind of play with it, and then he'll bring it back over, and he'll sort of set it down in front of you. And then do you toss the ball for him again?
Yeah, we'll do it one more time.
Fetch type of thing, or
great. And if there's any goodies laying around or anything left over from that guy that I put in the fire, if he's a little.
Oh yeah. There's some choice bits of meat, and the goblins will do some hunting, and they wind up bringing back a couple of rabbits and some squirrels, and they toast those over the fire, and nobody else cares much about the squirrels, but the rabbit is pretty tasty, and you can get them to give you some of the bones, and Ripper will of course happily gnaw on those, as well as the leg. There's still quite a bit of meat on that leg from the guy that Theolis killed. That Ripper's happy with that prize.
Sure. And just engaging like usual, like light wrestling that that dogs and hopefully wild wolves would like to engage in, and kind of get that bond going where we can safely wrestle around and he'll lightly bite me.
You're gonna wrestle him, and he is a wolf that was born as a wild wolf and has been somewhat trained by a bugbear. So I'm gonna have you at least make one more wisdom check, and then we're gonna see, because to see whether you kind of can sense when the natural instinct of the wolf is starting to kick in, and he's starting and kind of
maybe going for that line.
You kind of realize where that line is, and you don't push him across it, because you play with him a little bit and it's playful, and you play with him a little bit rougher and it's still playful, but then you kind of can sense the kind of the way his ears are twitching, and the way his tail is sort of stiffening up and everything. It's like, okay, if I push this too much harder, he's going to just, the wolf is going to come out and he's just going to bite. And, he may let go right away, but it's going to hurt if he bites.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So you kind of do that. And if you continue to do that, you'll probably get him eventually to a point where you can kind of almost coax that out of him and sort of, then if you're right, if you get to the point where you're riding him all the time, you can kind of have him do his attack while you're riding him.
Okay, cool. Right.
All right. So that's first watch. Are any of the PCs going to be on second watch, or is this going to be an NPC second watch?
I can take second watch.
Okay. So Sildar is a light sleeper. Ripper will kind of go over here, and he'll get into the tent with Tomas for a few minutes, and then after a while, Tomas, as you kind of start to drift off to sleep, you notice that Ripper gets up, and Theolis, you see Ripper go, and then he goes back over and he lays down and sleeps the rest of the night in Clark's tent. He's still kind of got that notion that somehow he still belongs to Clark at this point, but Tomas is sort of working on it.
Gotcha. Well, that's great. I can use the opportunity to ask Sildar if he's familiar with banshees, if he's ever ran across them, or what kind of experience, if any, he's had with them.
Banshees? No, I can't say I have. Nasty business with banshees.
Yes, and
are you all thinking about actually going after that banshee?
Well, in town we heard that we could be greatly rewarded with 3 health potions if we could return a comb to a wayward banshee. And to be honest, it scares me half witless. But Lady Amira really liked the sound of that comb.
Well, yes, she would. And we have to admit, Lady Amira has gotten us out of a lot of scrapes, so we must. And he kind of looks at the bandage and said, and she's very skilled at healing, more so than most of the rest of us. So I would be loath to simply discount anything out of hand that she wants, but I think we must be careful. I don't know much of the lore, just that they are undead, hard to kill. Do you have any weapons that are silver or magic?
Not at the moment, but perhaps I can ask in town. I might be able to trace one down or commission one to be made.
CLC strikes me as a place where it might be hard to find. Might be hard to find a magic weapon, but they might manage a silver-edged weapon.
We might have a decent smith. He's working on a saddle at the moment and a couple of crowns. If he could use some of my silver pieces to edge my longsword, then we may have a chance at defeating the undead as opposed to joining them.
Okay. Well, yes, and well, in the morning I'll ask Albon and Barker. I'll see if either one of them know anything about the undead, and if not, if they would be willing to lend some silver. I will certainly offer some silver pieces of my own wealth. They may offer some silver of theirs if we can get more of our weapons edged in silver.
Oh, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes. And I doubt Clog knows, but it might not be a bad idea in the morning to ask Clog if he knows anything about the undead. He's been out in these godforsaken wilderness longer than the rest of us have.
True. Wise thoughts. Wise thoughts.
Now, I still don't know how Lady Amy managed it, but it was a damn good stroke of fortune that she was able to get Clark and now this mustard fellow on our side.
Yes, I don't understand the arcane arts, but it is a truly amazing skill and ability that she has.
Yes, that's for sure. And you guys have a little bit of conversation. And is there anything in particular that you want to ask him other than that?
That was about the only thing I have. That's
Okay.
yeah.
So the rest of your watch passes, and then Amy, I presume that third watch is going to be strictly NPCs. Amy's going to get her beauty rest.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well.
Actually, hold on. I actually promised Tomas I talked to Clark, so I guess I'll do that during my watch.
Oh, okay. So, Theolis, you can retire to your tent. Sildar will retire to his. When it's time for the third watch, Clark will come out, and Ripper will sort of get up and follow him out, and will curl up there next to the fire. And
my token's locked. I can't move it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like you keep dragging it. Make sure you have the arrow tool and not the ruler tool selected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The arrow tool. I click on the token to take it to the tent, and it gives me a length of measurement, but it doesn't pull the token over.
Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah, because it says it. Well, I'm gonna move this here. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna bring it back and I'm gonna put it on Theolis again. And save it once again. Now see if it.
May need to refresh your
Yeah, refresh
window.
your roll 20, but I'll move it.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, okay. So now that, all right, there you go.
Something tweaky. I don't know.
Yeah. Roll 20 has been
Sorry.
roll 20 has been a little flaky lately. No problem. All right, so yeah, Clark is out there and he's sort of looking into the flames and kind of absently scratching Ripper behind the ears. He says, "Well, Empress, I believe that our plans are coming to fruition. We now have the red brands on notice that we are a force to be reckoned with. What is your next plan, if I may be so bold to ask?"
My plan is, I think it's time for you to give up Ripper.
And he looks at you, and for the first time you've known him, there's kind of this sad look and a little bit of a questioning look. And he says, "Give him up? Do you mean just let him go? He would not be able to fend for himself.
not let him go into like the wild. I mean, like, if you're to be king, you have a whole country to rule. You have to take care of this entire country. And Ripper, he enjoys the thrill of battle. I think you should let Tomas have him.
Oh. Oh. So, let him continue. Let Ripper continue the fight at the side of one of my generals. Yes? That is what you're proposing?
Exactly.
Oh, Empress Amy, you are wise. Yes, Ripper, you like the battle, don't you? You like that, don't you?
And he kind of ruffles Ripper's fur, and Ripper's kind of and bares his teeth, and Clark goes, ha, 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 yes, you like that. And he kind of just gets Ripper's head between his hands. He just sort of ruffles his cheeks, and he brings him up and he kisses him on the nose. He says, "Yes, that's a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy." And Ripper is like, you know, and Clark just seems to think that's cute. But then he says,
"Well, I see the wisdom of what you say, Empress Amy. Oh, I had thought that having Ripper next to the throne would be a way to intimidate those who came before me, but perhaps it is as you say. I was very surprised at how frightened the townmaster seemed when he was with us yesterday. It took a long time for him to even be comfortable sitting in the same tent as we were. And that has got me thinking, if I want to carry on negotiations with other leaders in good faith, then I want their respect. It is good when your enemies fear you, but when your friends should respect you and not fear you. Perhaps Ripper's place to cause the most fear is on the battlefield. Yes, I think I can see that now.
I think so too.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Amy. And Barker, Albon, my other generals, where are they? I don't see them around. Are they sleeping?
Probably asleep. I think they're either in this tent or this tent. I forgot which one they went into.
And he says,
Ripper, go wake up my other generals. Bring them to me.
And Ripper gets up and he trots over here. And then he comes back in a couple of minutes, and trailing along behind him are Albon and Barker. And they sit down on either side of Clark, and he says,
Gentlemen, we have Empress Amy and I have just been talking about our plans. It seems that you will get the opportunity to serve both in the field and as the King's Guard, because she has wisely indicated that Ripper here should be on the field of battle at all times and should spread the fear of our kingdom to the hearts of our enemies, along with General Tomas. What say you to this plan?
And they're like, oh, yes, Lord Clark, yes, King Clark. That's very wise. That's very wise of our Empress to say.
Good. I'm glad you agree. Well, I will have to see that you are given ceremonial robes in addition to your general's armor once we come to take Cragmaw Castle. And you will be resplendent when you are serving in the court, and you will be invincible when you are serving on the field of battle, won't you, my fine gentleman? And he puts an arm around either of their shoulders and sort of shakes them, and they're like, yes, my liege. And they're kind of looking at you like, okay. But yeah, so Clark seems very happy with that arrangement. And then when it comes time for the fourth watch, these guys will go back. Sildar was on watch. The goblins will come out. Yeah, I guess Clark and Ripper. Actually, Clark will send Ripper at that point at the end of the watch over here, and Ripper will go curl up next to Tomas. And the goblins will come out, and as it happens, you all, as you notice the daylight beginning to creep through the flaps of your tent, along with the daylight wafts the smell of meat cooking on the fire, and you hear the voices of goblins. No, don't put that on there. Put this on there. What's wrong with you? And they kind of are doing. They're kind of like the Three Stooges out there, sort of trying to get breakfast ready. But they do it without dumping all the food in the fire. And as everybody wakes up, it's now a new day. All right, hang on a minute because I'm about to sneeze. And I need to grab a tissue. So just a moment, I'm going to put myself on mute. I'll be right back. You guys can go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
Amy, if you get a chance, question Mustard. He's a red brand, so he probably knows the ins and outs of the hideout, because I don't think we've defeated them. I think we just took care of the first wave.
Oh, and which one's Mustard?
The only other human here.
I'm sorry.
She charmed one of the red brands that started the fight.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Mustard up here. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're going with the condiment army.
Right.
All right. So,
cool.
I saw a comment that Tomas would go ahead and question Mustard. Is that right? Is that what I saw, or was that? No, that was Theolis.
From Travis. Yeah.
We should question Mustard, but I'm still sad. Yeah. Like, Arg was so sad when I said give up Ripper. Like, my heart.
Oh, it's for the greater good.
Well, Clark doesn't seem to see it as a loss. He sees it by virtue of the charm. He sees it as a strategic strength to keep Ripper involved in the front line of battle, even when he has to take on the mantle of of leadership, as he is still under the presumption that he's going to be doing. And he sees that having Ripper leading the charge, if you will, perhaps literally, with Tomas riding on his back, and ripping the throats out of your guys' enemies, will spread terror of your might, as well as anything that Clark himself could do, and would be more effective than having Ripper turned into a lapdog just sitting by the throne all day.
That sounds sounds good to me.
Yeah, Amy, you don't
that was
get
my goal with my speech, but that was still sad.
Yeah. You think that he initially misunderstood what you meant, and he was sad about that. But then once you explained what you meant, he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." He's kind of excited about that. So don't think of it as Clark losing a son in Ripper. Just think of it that Ripper is also.
And that's way worse than what I was thinking.
Ripper is getting a second dad in Tomas. So,
Cool.
All right. So, there is, you guys have breakfast, and there is actually a rider. A rider that will come at as you all are finishing up breakfast. And this rider is on a pony. And it's not anyone that you recognize. It is it's a woman. She appears to be human. She's approximately in her maybe late teens, early 20s. And she looks like just a village girl of some sort. And she rides up towards the edge of your camp, and then she fishes something out of her out of the sleeve of her dress, and she holds it up. And what she's holding up is she's holding up a white handkerchief.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to say that to most of you, that's something that you notice when there are combatants on a field and they want to have a conversation with their adversaries.
Parlay.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Theolis,
she just sits back there, kind of far enough away that if it looks like you guys are going to draw steel, she can try to make a run for it, but close enough that you don't have to shout and echo off of the whole forest to be heard. So what do you guys do when you see her there?
They used to have this thing where you could you would tie to the top of your sword with a thong. It's called like a peace tie, like when you're in town or going through into a tavern or something, to signify that you're not in any way going to draw this weapon. And I'm wondering if that would be something that we could do. That or just once somebody would lay a sword down on the ground before us.
Yeah, I can go ahead and lay down my weapons. I think we're good. I can cover half the distance between her and then come to a stop. So we're in conversation range.
Okay.
There she is. Okay. Yep.
And for the benefit of the viewers, let's see that she's kind of down here. She says, I bring a message. And she fishes in the other sleeve and she pulls out what looks like it's a piece of parchment that has been folded over, and you can tell it's been sealed, like with a wax seal. So it's not a scroll because it's folded flat. I bring a message for the one who is powerful with magic.
I have no idea who that is. Okay, bye.
And she says, if I do not return in an hour, they'll kill my mother. Someone please take this. And she holds it out.
One moment, lass. I'll get it from you.
Hold on.
Trap.
No. Can you guarantee this is not a trap?
She says, and she looks at you and she shakes her. She's kind of, you can tell now that you're a little bit closer to her. You can tell now that she's terrified. And, she looks at you and kind of her eyes start to water and she says, lady, I don't know. All I know is that they have swords and they said they would kill my mother. Please.
Is there anything?
Can you tell if she's lying or not? Or
there's
like an insight check?
Let me take a look and see among the skills. I don't think any of you have like the particular skill, but I just want to double check what it is in this particular thing. It is the skill called, I think it's called Detect Deception. It's a wisdom skill. So,
can I do a wisdom roll?
You guys can do a wisdom roll to try to see if she's lying to you or not. Amy, you have no idea. Okay, Tomas, that's a pretty good roll. Theolis,
Wisdom. Yeah.
Okay. Theolis, you're pretty sure she's telling the truth, and Tomas, you are absolutely certain that she's telling the truth. This girl seems genuinely terrified of what's going to happen to her mother if she doesn't return.
I relay this to Theolis and Amy.
Okay.
She's genuine. She's really upset. Yeah.
If the letter really is for me, then I'm going to go and take it. Because if it is a trap, I don't want you guys getting hurt.
Okay.
Which sounds
Trust her.
noble,
I'll
but
go.
also
Well,
if it is a trap, then I need someone to go with me. So
I can go up and grab the letter.
really,
Okay.
I just said I need vengeance.
You need what?
I just said I needed vengeance if this was a trap.
Oh,
I have you
right.
covered, Lady Amira. No worries.
Okay, so I have the letter.
Okay. All right. You can tell that, and as soon as you take the letter, she kind of relaxes a little bit, and she says, "I was told to return as soon as I delivered it. Um, I was not told to get an answer." And she kind of backs her horse away from you guys a little bit, and then when she gets like 10 15 feet away, she turns and she just gallops back towards the village, and she's gone.
We're never going to see that
Oof.
girl again.
Well,
All right, I'll
maybe
make my way back. I hope we know where we're going, because I didn't even get a chance to ask where we have to go to help her. She did not make that clear.
yeah, she did not. I am going to tell you something. I'm also trying to write it to you so that you have it in. We'll have it as a handout, but I'll finish the handout a couple of minutes from now. All right. So you look at it, and there's a seal on it, sealed with wax, and
Fancy.
yeah, it's kind of fancy. It doesn't ring any bells to any of you. But do you want to show it to anybody before you open it, or do you just want to open it?
If we break the seal, does like the seal like crumble?
Well,
it just
you can do things one of two ways. You can either, if you want to try to preserve the seal, you can either show it to people before you open it, or you can do like some kind of trick, like where you take like a dagger blade and maybe heat the dagger blade up, and then try to very carefully, release the seal without actually breaking the wax. And if you do that, that'll just take a dex check. So if you want somebody dexterous to try that, you can do that, and then that way you can read the message and still preserve the seal so that people can look at it later.
Is there anybody
That would
here
be
you think would
especially a trick that Tomas would know, because that's something that nosy halfling cousins like to do. When they find that somebody has a letter, they like to kind of sneak a peek at what the letter is, because they want to know if anybody is being invited to parties where there's going to be good food. And
That's a good idea.
Right. That sounds familiar. I've heard this story before.
Yeah, Tomas
I've heard this story
seen
before.
that trick before.
Right. Okay, I looked to Theolis and Amy, and like, is there anyone you think here that would recognize the seal? Sildar?
Sildar.
We could try Sildar. We could also try the tavern and the mayor.
Sildar hears his name and says,
well, the current mayor.
Friends,
now.
what was that all about?
We
I
explained.
think that caused some drama.
And
no, you're fine.
And he looks at that, and he says, "Good God, I don't believe it. I recognize that."
You do? Wonderful.
Yes. That's the seal of the man I've been looking for. That's the seal of the wizard.
Okay.
What the hell is
Thomas
his
looks a
name
little
again?
perplexed.
Was it
Wizard?
Arno?
Yarno, yeah.
Yarno.
The guy who's been paying us, or the guy we've been looking for?
No, Yarno was the guy that was supposed to know where the dwarf that hired us to begin with went
Oh.
Yes.
when he was taken by the black spider.
So why would he send us the letter now?
We'll find out when you open it.
Can you hand me the letter, please?
I will. Here you go.
Thank you. All right, voice in the sky. Can I please read this letter?
Yes, you may. And the letter says, Dear Sir or Madam, you and your friends have proven yourselves a very powerful force in these parts. I understand that you are looking for someone I know who has something that you want. And he has something that I want. But you have something that I need. I would ask you to be very discreet in your reading of this letter. Should you choose to gain my aid in finding the thing which you seek and the person whom you seek, then you can bring me what I need. Bring me the head of Sildar Hallwinter. His tongue cannot wag any longer. Yours truly, the Glassstaff.
Ooh. Okay. That makes the cheese a little more binding.
Well, now I'm going to presume that Amy read this to herself without Tomas or Theolis or anyone looking over her shoulder. So, players and folks in the chat read it out for your benefit, but for in character, I'm going to say that unless Amy says otherwise, she read this to herself and nobody else knows the contents of it yet. Or would Amy be the kind that would read it out loud?
Well, I don't read out loud. Oh, where's the drama in that?
Okay, all right. So,
well, don't make Thomas wait. Is it a party invite? Are we going to eat well?
Oh, well, that depends. Sildar, how do you feel about your head on a platter?
he's like, what? What?
Lady Amira, please explain.
Well, he said be discreet about it, but you know I'm not very discreet, so. Apparently, you're less liked than I am. Except I can charm people into liking me. So.
Is this truly from Yarno?
Well, you said it was.
But Yarno is my friend. What? Why would he want my head?
According to this, you talk too much.
I talk too much.
Lady Amira, may I see the letter?
Go ahead, read it for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. You read it, And you see that it's not signed Iarno, it is signed the Glassstaff. And you
that's-
guys have heard that the Glassstaff is purported to be the person who's leading the Red Brands.
That's right.
And if you're kind of going to read it where other people can see it, Sildar will. Well, you tell me whether you're reading it where he could see it, or are you trying to keep it private before you show it to anybody else?
I was wanting to take a look.
Okay. I guess since it's starting to be passed around, at some point, Sildar will see it, and he'll say, "That's Iarno's seal. Do you mean to tell me he's the Blackstaff? Or do you think Iarno has been killed and the Blackstaff has taken his place? But then why would the only reason I could think why the Blackstaff would want me, or the Glassstaff would want me dead, is if I know his true identity. That may be the reason he wants me dead."
Do you know his true identity?
Well, if he is Iarno, then yes, of course I know his true identity. He was my friend, a wizard who came here to try to, I thought, do good and help this town prosper. But apparently he's decided that instead of helping the town, he can gain more for himself. But he says here he apparently knows someone that has something you want, which I presume would be Gundar Rockseeker. Gundren, I'm sorry. Gundren Rockseeker.
Gundren, okay.
And
go ahead.
He would be willing to tell you the location where Gundren is and who has him in exchange for bringing him my head. I would like to hope that Gundren wouldn't like that very much, and I certainly hope that you all don't like that idea very much.
One can hope.
Well, I like your head on your shoulders just fine.
Oh, well, that's a relief, Theolis. And,
same. So, yeah. But
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna. I just not in my agreement with the other fellow party members here. Yeah, we're not gonna. I have no intention of beheading you, putting it on a platter. You know, we fought side by side.
And I have no intention of cleaning blood off my clothes.
And Sildar relaxes because, he's seen Theolis' sword, knows that that's pretty powerful. He's seen Tomas and knows that he's a capable person, but Amy's the one that really gives him the heebie-jeebies. Just turning Clark into a big loyal pussycat, and now bringing one of these red brands home like a lost puppy. That's just sort of okay, yeah. And she's seen you put entire battlefields of enemies asleep with just the wave of your hand and a couple of words of mystic power. And so he's like, yeah, she's the one that bothers me the most. So he is relieved to hear Theolis and Tomas give him a vote of confidence. But once Amy does, okay, now he finally relaxes.
Does he need a pinky promise or something?
No. Your word is fine. Your word is fine. It's just
Okay. Alrighty.
Lady Amira, perhaps you should talk to Mustard about what he knows about the red brands. He may know about the glass staff or have some information about the guy that was paying for him.
I don't expect him to know much, but he might know a little.
I'm just saying asking couldn't hurt.
Okay.
okay. All right. So Amy is going to talk to Mustard then. Okay, so let's go back up here and let's recenter the map. All right. So Amy, you start. You go over to Mustard and he sees you coming and he's like, "Oh, yes, my lady. How can I help you?"
Mustard, my loyal friend. I was wondering if you could tell me about what happened when you were with the Red Brand.
Oh, well, you see, it was all the glass staff's idea. We were sort of mercenaries, and we came to the sleeping giant one day, and Grista, well, she was kind enough to us. She seems to be a bit gruff with most folk in town, but she was kind enough to us outsiders. And there was a fellow in there, and he kind of mysterious, hood and cowl, and for a long time he wouldn't show us his face. But he said that he was asking who wanted to get rich. Of course, all of us did. We're mercenaries, of course.
Obviously.
So he said, he asked us what we knew about the old ruins up on the hill. And we said that we didn't know much, but we'd always heard from folk in the town that it was haunted. And he began to put out not pieces of gold, but I tell you, pieces of platinum. And he began to place them on the table. And he said, any one of you who wishes to help me take that house and turn it into a palace, you can collect this platinum. But know that if you take it, I will know where you are. And I will be able to find you. And with that, he made flames dance on the ends of his fingers. And we all knew that he must be a terribly powerful wizard. So we all looked and we each took the platinum and we helped him clear out the house. And as it turned out, it was, well, there were some strange things in there, but actually we didn't find any spirits or undead. At least not that
not that the glass staff wanted anything done with. There was a area downstairs where there were some crypts, but he said don't even bother those. But it was just rats and bats and vermin that had come in from the woods, and we easily got rid of those. And then he said we should start earning a living by taking protection money from the folk in the town, building up our treasure. And so we did, and he lets us keep some of what we take. He's got plans, but he's very, very close about them. He's got a study in the house, in the lower level. It's the first place he had us fix up. And gradually he's having us work on other areas, but for now he seems content to spend most of his time in his study researching or plotting or whatever he does. And only comes out when somebody needs to be taught a lesson or needs to be made an example of for the rest of us. He's not a very nice man.
Can you describe what he looks like? So I can avoid him, obviously.
Oh, yes. He for all of his for the power that he wields with magic, which is considerable. I've seen it myself. I've seen how he. Of course, I've seen your magic, and your magic is very powerful too, my lady. But I'm sorry, my empress. But he's kind of a scrawny fellow. He's got sort of greasy black hair and a bit of a hook nose and kind of thin and wiry under his robes. And Sildar, we'll just say that Sildar is over here while you're talking to him. And Sildar nods his head and says, "Yep, that's Yarno." And Mustard looks up and says, "Yarno?" And Sildar says, "Yes, that's the man's name." And he says, "Oh." And then he kind of looks back at Amy and looks over at Sildar, and he's happy to tell Amy what she wants to know, but he's kind of wondering, is this a good idea to be talking? But it's too late now. Not that there's much he could do about it because he's charmed. And
Can I do like a wisdom check to see if I know the spell that he put on the platinum coins that he was describing?
you certainly can do a check. Let me just double check here. What is it in this? Okay, that would be mysticism, but let me just see in intelligence if there's anything that's like spell things. No, it's not. So yes, mysticism would be the. So wisdom check. Oh, is that your 18?
I roll.
Oh, okay. That was an older wisdom check. Okay, never mind. 9. Yeah. You're not sure right off the bat what spell that would be. But you do have kind of a sneaking suspicion. Hang on a second. I got to blow my nose again. We had a little cold spell here, and when the weather changes, my allergies act up. So, the you don't recognize that spell, but you have fought back to times when there have been kind of either children or total bumpkins that you were talking to, and you could sort of demonstrate the prowess of your magic, and then you could tell them stuff and they would believe it because, oh, well, you can do magic, so certainly you can do that. So you're not sure whether there's actually anything he can do to track those coins, but just showing that he's got command of magic might make them believe that he could.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, it sounds like we need to go get Lady Amira Palace.
It finally time to overthrow a king because I've been waiting for it all week.
And Clark says, "Oh, well,
If he thinks he is special because he has command of magic, well, he has not seen Lady Amy and the Empress Amy, and her dominance over magic. We will teach him a lesson."
and we will do that next week in our next section of the Lost Mine of Original D&D, because, friends, we are now at time. I have 35 after the hour. It was a fun session, everybody. And we got to have nice little combat and chat. Thank you, as always, for being here and hanging out with us. We do have, for those of you that are on the chat, we do have some spots available in this game if anybody wants to jump from one side of the chat to the other and join us on Saturday nights for the game. You can look for Lost Mine of Original D&D in Roll20, and make sure you have it set so that you're not filtering to look for only 5e games, because you won't find it if you are. You want to look for any game. And players, Amira, Shaun, and Travis, do any of you have anything coming up between now and next Saturday, either on your own social media or your own Twitch or YouTube or anything like that, that you want to let the viewers know about?
Nope.
World domination.
Sound good? You're well on your way.
Yeah. One little group at a time. Amy is gradually bringing together these folks. Here on this channel, tomorrow, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be having our Planeswalking game, the Walker of Waterdeep. Monday, we will be doing a Monster Monday on the Axebeak, which is an interesting creature out of D&D lore. And then Thursday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we will be having our homage, our love letter, if you will, to the published 5e campaigns where we are doing the Sword Coast Chronicles. And right now, they are at a tower, wooden tower, where there is a large wicker effigy out in front of this wooden tower. and a ritual is about to commence, which is supposed to help to purge the land with holy flame and fire. And as that ritual was commencing, an earthquake began in the area of the tower, and that's right where we left off on Thursday night. So we're going to pick up with that, and we're going to find out what that earthquake is all about. Because the people conducting the ritual, they seem to be caught off guard by the earthquake as much as the party did. So it may not be the folks doing the ritual that are causing the earthquake, and who knows what or who is. That is going to do it for our session. I've been DM Gallibond. We've had Travis, Amira, and Shaun. And Amira, congratulations on getting done with the exams for another semester. Give your brain a rest and just focus on world conquest. Next week we will talk to people, or we will talk to the players about what we want to do during that Saturday between Christmas and New Year's, whether we want to play or not. We're probably going to lose 2 games on Thursday night because of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, both falling on Thursday this year. But as for Saturday and Sunday, I don't know what folks are doing with the crazy 2020 being what it is, and whether people will be traveling or not, or having holiday gatherings with family or not during those times. So I don't want to schedule a game if nobody's going to be available, but if everybody's going to be available, then we can probably try to play. Alrighty then. Thank you again, chat, for hanging out, and we will see you next Saturday night at 7:30 for the Lost Mine of original DnD. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, chat. I wish somebody had mentioned something. But I forgot to change the map after the break. But fortunately there were no fights, so nobody missed any of the moving around on the table. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Take care and have a wonderful good night. Bye-bye, everybody.